Welcome back to FFB Amigos, and today we're talking about Ipswich getting their first win of the whole season, of the whole Premier League season, against Chelsea today at Portman Road. First win at Portman Road. 3 points lost again for Chelsea. Chelsea are not finding their feet back to those ways. We've been getting last season vibes for the last 3 games. And I'm not surprised. Enzo Maresca's system has been figured out, and we appear to not have any solutions. Just as people were getting excited about a title race, me not included, and I warned about this, go back and watch my videos. And like it and subscribe while you're at it. Sorry, I don't have a happy face today because we should have won this game. It was nuts. And Ipswich, congratulations, fellas. You deserve to win the game. Masterfully played. Perfectly how you're supposed to play against Chelsea. I've been saying this for a while. Press as a mid, drop to a low block, counter wide. You'll find them vulnerable. And honestly, well deserved. Congratulations to Ipswich. I was surprised to see I did not know even Calvin Phillips was playing there as a sub. So that's pretty impressive. There's no excuses, no reason, no matter how well he did. This was a terrible performance. And I think Enzo Maresca is in a little bit of trouble. So let's run through the game a little bit. Chelsea did attack. Chelsea did control the game most of the parts. And I say control in the sense that we had like possession and we played around their box. But as a proper Chelsea fan, that we remember the old Chelsea, we know that, like I've said in the last couple of games, that when you're losing, you sometimes feel you're in control. And I certainly I felt that, to be honest. Around minute 80, I stopped paying any attention, even though there was 10 plus addition 15 minutes to go. I was even sooner than that. 20 minutes out, I'm like, it's over. There's no ideas, nothing's going to change, and this game's over. We could have played for another full hour. Chelsea was never going to win that game. Yeah, I mean, that's the long and short here. So in any case now, Chelsea started quick. Minute 3, we're attacking. And then, unfortunately, that penalty comes in. It was a really soft penalty, man. Let me know, guys, in the comments. Was that... I mean, soft penalties are still penalties, right? And it's the first penalty that they've had in the Premier League in 20 years. And the last one, guess who it was against? That's what the commentator said last. It was against Chelsea. And today they score. And Jorgensen went the right way on that one, but was unable to save it. And actually, this is really controversial. Some people may criticize him for giving away that penalty. Dude, I think he does the dive. I think he pulls his hands back. It's just like, at that point, impossible to get out of his way. I'd like to see it again. I wasn't upset with him when it happened. I'll have to see it again. In any case, soon after that, I have it here, like minute 13. Under their press, we lose the ball, which, remember, their press wasn't that high that often, but the 2 or 3 times that they did it, we ran into problems, and they took a shot. Jorgensen saved. And the first half, and at least the first half, I think I said it was really good, and as always, world class. But as the game went on, he was left more alone and alone and alone, and that's fine. Usually, he deals with that. You can't ask him to cover that much grass, although he did. But then, you guys know he's my favorite player. But then towards the end, he started making some errors in passing. Nothing too crazy, but nothing that great. And I think it's down to, one, he may be, a little tired at that point. And I've been saying he needs a break because he's played every minute of every game, if I'm not mistaken. And one of the players that have played the most games in the Premier League, most minutes. And on top of that, not only did he play that much, but I think he got emotionally desperate today. That was kind of new. And he was trying to play some forward passing from deep. And I don't think that was the greatest idea. And then, in any case, Felix took on a couple of shots. At first, I was really upset at him because he was trying to turn on the ball. And he got found out twice in attacks that led to a counter where we were hurt by Ipswich. And he just got out-muscled, really, trying to turn. But he never stopped trying. And I don't know if he was the player to be substituted. He was later substituted in the game. And I don't think he was the player to be substituted necessarily. He was playing out on the left hand side, which we know he can do, but again, it's not his ideal position. Which minute 20, Felix is playing a little bit more into the 10 slot, although he is the assigned left hand side player, but he is starting to play a little bit in the 10, and he starts finding his feet and he starts taking on players, and I think he starts doing a better job. My assumption there was that Cucurella would do an overlap on his left, but that always felt a little sloppy because I think Ipswich just was pretty organized. And then, from the get-go, there's a huge mistake. We can't play Nkunku as a 9. I mean, we can, but I think it's freaking cruel to do that to him. I think for him to come in the 9 position in the last few minutes, if you're playing a lot of low balls into the box, and he can, box in the box kind of thing, catch a goal for you, but that's not his position. And I think it's unfair. If you're going to play him in the 10. And I think that's what it should have been, how we should have played with him in the 10, but whatever. I'm not that smart enough. And remember, I'm humble enough to know that Maresca is obviously smarter than me and more trained than me, and he spends all day with the players, so he knows. What is funny is that I didn't think he would play Felix at all, because it seemed like he's got a thing going for him, or that he hasn't brought him in when needed. So that was a little interesting. In any case, there was a couple of good attacks that Chelsea played all the way from the back. So when we built from the back and could come out with speed, we did pretty well. And even though I think Maresca, again, it's like I'm just tired of seeing this guy just like face try. One thing he is doing that I like is putting in crosses. It's just there's nobody there. But I mean, we had to find Cucurella recently to score. That's not. I mean, you're in trouble if you're trying to find him on a header. But I like he cuts in and he puts in those crosses. But today again is one of the things where he has a high production of attempts, but seems to be a little bit imprecise, and it doesn't work out for him. And a lot of the time I saw players. I'm not even going to go through all my notes, guys, because there's a bunch of them. I have minute 30, 31, 32, 34, 35. Brilliant Chelsea play. Tossin finds Palmer, sets up Felix, but his shot lacks power. Colway puts in a great cross. Nobody capitalizes. And Felix running a lot, wins another free kick while defending, doing well. The free kick goes to nothing. Felix wins another free kick, and Palmer just floats it in poorly. Enzo Fernandez to Maresca, who finds Felix, but too many defenders block the shot. That happened a lot. We would try to find a shot, and there was always 4 or 5 Ipswich players, and we couldn't find a solution for that. We couldn't we couldn't get a shot that would pass through that forest of legs and players, and we couldn't play through absolutely. However, I'm going to say it's because he got subbed. Towards the end, Felix drops deep. I don't think he was supposed to. And maybe that's what got him subbed off, to be honest. He drops like a deeper lying 10 rather than playing that wide. Yes, on his side still, and that produces a couple of good plays. He finds Maresca in the box with a long ball, like a really nice long ball over the top, and Maresca can't control it. If he could have controlled that ball, he would have shot one-on-one with the goalkeeper. But in any case, and then like 1 minute later, there was a lot of laying the ball off, like facing the defenders and laying the ball off for somebody to come in and take a hit. And Felix set up Palmer nicely, who takes a shot, but the keeper saves. And he also had one on target that was pretty weak. But in any case, the second half starts. There's a header within like a minute, again on target but not in. And Maresca gets a shot off, and again the same thing. And at that point, I think this is first 5 minutes of the game. I didn't see the changes, and I'm like, it's going to be too late. It's not going to happen. I don't think he has any ideas, because tactically I didn't see any changes or anything that would do anything. But I get a little excited. And then minute 52, I get right there, bam, in the face, in the mouth. That's what you get for getting excited, you fool. That's what I'm told by next Chelsea player, Mari Hutchinson, who it's not even a counter. They're not even pressing. But they're doing a normal mid press, like in the middle of the field, like I was saying before, and that's enough. And Caicedo first crosses the ball, which I was watching it with Blue Lions TV, and shout out to them. I'm always trying to support the other content creators, and I don't have enough subscribers to do a live. So please subscribe so there could be enough of us and we can talk Chelsea while we're watching the games. Like and subscribe. And he was saying, "Oh, Caicedo, the team wasn't ready for him to play that ball wide." It was a very precise ball to Maresca. And I respect this guy, by the way, his comments. But he plays this ball wide to Maresca, and he just passes back instead of going forward. And then Dizazi just gives the ball away. Counter, fast. The lap was a nightmare to us. He played an amazing game. Again, congratulations to Lap, which we're looking into. I don't think that's the level of player that we need, but whatever. That's a different conversation, different video. Counter and not counter, but they recover after the press. They come out really fast at us, and then just overall not great defending. And Dizazi gave the ball away, and then we're kind of done. And to me, that was over. I was like, okay, let me give it a couple of minutes to see what we do with the changes. And I was thinking the whole time, Nkunku struggled, very ineffective as a 9, because we're ineffective getting the ball to him. And he's the kind of player that helps us carry the ball there. But Jackson comes on, and I find it questionable that it's for Felix, but I'm like, fine, okay. Nkunku will finally drop to the 10, is what I'm thinking, which doesn't really happen. I think there's some confusion there because he drops to the left, and therefore Sancho comes in for him. And now it's like a whole thing. But, I never saw Sancho, really, after that either. Another shot on target for Jorgensen, and that Jorgensen saves, actually, too, in a 70-something minute. Jorgensen keeps us in the game again. I think it was an attack. But at that point, we're so lost and disorganized, it's just over. I wrote it down here. Minute 72. The Lewis says it's over. Maresca has no solutions. Chelsea will become the first team to lose to Ipswich at Portman Road. And that's, I can't will those things into happening, right? I'm just a spectator like y'all. But and I'm not being negative, but that's what I'm seeing in the field. And then Jackson misses a one-on-one, clear in one-on-one with the keeper. Yes, he was an offside, and again, I was watching on Blue Line, and he was like, "Thank God it was an offside." I'm like, what? He's not supposed to be offside, mate. What do you mean, thank God? Yes, he missed it, so it's actually two bad things, that he's offside and then that he misses it. But in any case, I'm convinced nothing's happening. Then Neto and Gusto comes, which is fine. But at that point, I'm okay, because he's just throwing all the meat on the barbecue, and hopefully something gets cooking, but with no clear idea. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I lost focus, man. I was like watching, not watching, you know what I mean? Giving me vibes from last season. My eyes were just sort of lost into the ether, and knowing that this game, I'm just waiting for it to end, to be honest. I wanted to bring out the camera and start recording, because since I'm not as experienced as my fellow content creators, they happen to do it, or either they do it live or they do it really fast. They have a video up within 10 minutes after the game's over, and by then they get 1,000 million views, and it's hard for me to catch up. So I'm thinking, let me start setting up, because this is over. I should have started and done the thumbnail and all that stuff by minute 70, to be honest, because nothing was going to happen. And again, I was surprised when I saw Calvin Phillips come in. And like I said, Chelsea could have played another hour, and it's never going to happen at all. So I got some key takeaways here, is that I don't think Felix was a player to take him out, and if you do, you got to play him in the 10. Same thing with Nkunku. Play players where they belong. Jackson, we forget, yes, ideally Palmer is amazing and he's the best 10 and all that, but he's been shut down a lot of these games and productive, whatever. It's not going to hurt us to play him on the right-hand side, so you can enable Nkunku or Felix to play as a 10 proper, if that's what we need to do to test sometimes. Again, humbly, Enzo Maresca, don't get mad at me for having an opinion. Yes. That was Russian or something. I wish I had some Russian. You know the Russian I wish we had around. But yeah, I think in tactical errors, again, like Nkunku as a 9, and no new ideas, man. No new ideas, no change informations, to be honest. So I'm a little shocked there. Enzo Maresca is going to have to find something different. We know we're fragile defensively. A little bit that error by Dizazi, and I did like some offensive play I saw from Colwell, trying to find some forward balls. There was some high risk and we lost some, but particularly on the Hutchinson goal, the second goal. We were pretty weak in being organized and defending that. And I think Caicedo lost the plot. That man is tired, as I've been saying. So I think we're struggling, even though we looked like we had a huge bench in two teams. We're struggling, man. We need Romeo Lavia. We need, yes, we have people on the bench, but they're not ideal. I think Tyreek George is too young, and we didn't have much options, and when we use them, we're not using them properly. So hopefully we don't start having some problems with injuries, because right now is like the last worst time for that to happen. And then, the tactical and discipline and fight with a mid block press and a low block defense, counterattacking wide, is how you beat Chelsea, without a doubt. As long as you don't get it, Chelsea doesn't score an early. Well, I'm not even going to say that. That was proven wrong. Chelsea's going to let you score if you play that way. And if you're disciplined in defense, you will beat them. So that's the long and the short. However, as always, please like and subscribe so I can keep making better videos. I want to get better every day to deliver better content for you guys and to the team. Yes, today I'm sad, amigos. I'm sad. I'm worried. I have these concerns, but it doesn't mean you can't turn it around, and it doesn't mean that all of us Chelsea fans don't still believe in you. So, as always, come on, you Blues.